the point here is that framework gave us our right to repair back. We had the ability
awesome.
to repair laptops. And for a number of my customers, whether they're in automotive, manufacturing, anybody that's using this laptop in a rough environment, I mean, this just screams what framework was designed for. Oh, you broke your charging port? Okay, here, $20 for a replacement connector. And I've had the
Instead
pleasure
of $2,000 for a replacement laptop.
correct. And our good friend Nate from Linux Out Loud uses the framework in his everyday business. So, I mean, personally, I think it's awesome that you get to be part of such a cool company and support a lot of these initiatives that you've talked about on your show so often. Like, you actually get to live it.
Oh yeah.
I mean,
it's awesome.
Honestly, the most exciting part of it is the fact that, what you just told us about, you're helping make Linux be a first-class citizen on framework products. That is,
to be clear,
that's really amazing to me and all the rest of us, because, having a computer maker care about Linux to the degree in which it's first-tier marketing, first-tier documentation, first-tier support, and first-tier care, right? Like, I have much more interesting phrasing to use here, but we're not going to go there. But like, Framework does a really good job of putting their Linux face forward. And I'm really, and that's a big part of why, like, I've basically only bought Framework computers since after the 16 came out, that was it for me. It's like, hey, you made the computers that I actually like, that both follow my philosophy and actually are good, and I like and I want them.
Yeah, I mean, for sure. I mean, the first, real quick though, I just want to clarify one thing. Before I joined Framework, they were already still super interested in Linux. It's not because I didn't just do that sort of stuff. I'm more of
it wasn't just all you.
Yeah, I'm not taking credit for that. I mean, when I already knew that they supported Linux and all that sort of stuff. But when I joined the company, I realized how much Linux was important, and that's what made me even more excited to work with Framework, because I realized it's not just a second-class citizen like most companies. It is the first, like the new laptop 13 Pro was designed for the purpose of making Linux as the first-class citizen. The thing about the first-class citizen stuff is always something that it's been a very important passion for me in terms of Linux, because the amount of like applications that don't support Linux, or the hardware manufacturers that don't support Linux, has always been something that I just wanted a company to like see Linux as the platform that it is and take advantage of it, because it's such a powerful platform. You might as well have hardware that merges so well with it. And when Framework doing that, it's also a good point to point out that the 13 Pro, the new Framework laptop 13 Pro, this is a laptop that has Linux as a first-class citizen by design. It's like all the parts that are put into this laptop were designed to make sure that they had Linux support and the optimized for Linux and performance for Linux and all that sort of stuff. And it is a wonderful laptop to use. And this, I know, a little biased, I get it. But also, as a Linux fan, it is everything that I'm saying. It is a fantastic, it looks great, but also it works with Linux. And I'm a huge fan of this thing, and I use it all the time, every day. And
I love the colorway on that particular model.
Oh yeah.
It's such a good one. And it's actually kind of funny because I have a mechanical keyboard that I've had for a couple of years that also has the same colorway, and they didn't do it on purpose. They just showed it to me, and I was like, wow, that is perfect. And it's more perfect than you even imagined, because I have one. I have a mechanical keyboard that I use that is for my desktop that fits perfectly. So it's extra level of awesome in that sense. But the work that Framework does to make sure that Linux is supported properly has it blew me away when I joined the company, because they put effort into like firmware support and the kernel support and all that sort of stuff. And then to be also joining the team and to kind of like, I guess, optimizing and making things more like tailored towards the Linux diehard, the Linux fan, is perfect for me, because like I've been in the community for so long, and I've paid attention to this for all the different distros and that sort of stuff. And the Linux news side of thing that I do with This Week in Linux, it also works perfect for me because I also see everything that's happening, and I can kind of have my feet on the ground in terms of the Linux community. So putting that all together as part of the framework marketing is, it's pretty much perfect. So I think that, in addition to framework making awesome products, the amount of effort and the amount of care that they put into making sure that the hardware is compatible with Linux is something that I'm proud to be a part of the company for it, because I'm happy to be able to help the company express the value to the Linux users, but also trying to push Linux to people who are not Linux users and getting them to become part of Linux. That is something that I've not only am I a fan of that, I appreciate the effort that Framework wants to do that.
I'm hopeful for a future with Framework in particular where it gets to the point where this becomes more of the norm, and that Framework disrupts the existing status quo when it comes to laptops and basically disposable devices for all intents and purposes. Mm-hmm. Because the great thing about building your own desktop, which I wish people could do right now, but we're gonna not talk about the big elephant in the room that is making the memory so expensive to do that. But one of the most joyous things that I remember doing when I was young is building my first computer. And the fact that we have that Framework has had the longevity that it's had, that I have seen, is truly spectacular. And every time I've interacted with a Framework device, I've noticed a lot of care and design and ways in which to be able to make it so that the device is very easy to repair and fix. Mm-hmm. And I think that is definitely one of those innovations that is very, very cool. And it's completely understandable why you would be a fan. I mean, for me personally, I do need to buy a personal laptop for myself at some point. I'm kind of hoping that things equal out a little bit, maybe when, big AI decides that we can have memory again. But it's one of those things where it would be my first choice because of the aspect of basically being able to upgrade it, repair it. The design of even MacBooks, I have one sitting around that I inherited from my mom that was 10 years old. And really that aluminium design of a laptop really hasn't changed that much. And so having the backwards compatibility and the ability to be able to put just newer components into an already existing case and creating a standard in that backwards compatibility is very appealing. The idea that I like the way that those machines feel. The machined aluminum is great. It is a very comfortable machine to use. And I think putting a lot of thought into how, we can make products last longer, even if the components inside of them, aren't going to last forever. I think that to me is really, really appealing and a really, really cool part of it. And yeah, I'm very glad to, as someone who has been listening to you even in back in the Stone Ages of the Jupiter broadcast days to now, it's really exciting to me that someone with your history of all of the things that you've done over the entirety of your career has coalesced into this moment where you can make a big difference and make change in the world and make things happen. So I think that's very cool.
This was just the man page version. For the full deep dive into this Sudo show, check it out here.